Hey everybody!
Hello, hello.
Let me just move this really quick. Okay. Sorry about that. So, good evening. I know some of you may be seeing me for the second time today. If you are coming on live, please do drop into the comments and say hi and where you're tuning in from. I'm Scott.
I'm Nancy.
And our last name is Aaron. And we're coming on today because for some of you may have seen this on social media. Nancy and I have both been talking about it, but we are officially 1 month away, 30 days away from our first workshop of the new calendar year. It will be happening from January 10th to January 14th. It's a 5-day personal branding blueprint. And we wanted to go over, there's some changes, obviously, of what we're going to be doing in the coming year. And what we wanted to do was really plug into why we've made those changes, but more importantly, the 5 reasons why you should be signing up for this blueprint. So if you're coming on live, please do drop into the comments and say hi and where you are coming in from. I just want to make sure that we are coming through loud and clear. And we are. Good. Now, so what we wanted to go over, now typically for anyone that's seen or come to any of our workshops, we did 9 workshops this past year, January through August. We took off September and we did our final one in October. So this is going to be our first one. And we're doing things a little bit differently. So Nancy, why don't you tell them a little bit about what's different with this blueprint?
Yeah, so first things first, last year, the workshops that we did kind of alternated between our simple content creation workshop, which is really awesome, a lot of fun to do, and also Scott's LinkedIn intensive, which kind of takes you through the A to Z of learning LinkedIn. So those were the 2 workshops that we rotated. In January, it's the first time we're actually going to be doing a training on the personal branding blueprint method that we put together. And it's great because this is actually part of the training that we teach some of our current clients and our mastermind participants. So you guys are literally getting access to some amazing training that we're going to provide for you. And it's really going to set you up for success for January. I mean, I'm incredibly excited, not only for the value that we're going to be delivering in this workshop. I mean, I am like giddy, like a school kid. And it's also the content that I'm actually writing about in my book. So my book is actually coming out in February, and this training just kind of leads up to it. And I've done so much research on really building your reputation online and, helping you show up and be more visible online and on social media, right? Because I'm sure many of you out there, right, whether you're watching the replay or you're live now, you've had that thought in your head. Does social media really work? Why am I spending all this time? And so the workshop that we're going to be doing in January, again, I get so fired up about it because it is going to be so awesome for you guys to take that training in January to really hit the ground running for the rest of 2022. And a big thing that we're teaching in this training, and it's in line with what I'm all fired up about, is intention. And we want to have intention in this upcoming year. Scott will tell you, I always like to pick a word for the year. And I think this last year was I think it was confidence or,
Action.
Yeah, it was like action. But this upcoming year is the year of intention. Let's put routines in place. Let's set goals and let's start to achieve those goals that we set for ourselves.
Now, the other thing that we changed in this is actually this is our first paid workshop. And, Nancy and I talked about this. We want to teach almost intuitively how to create a healthy money mindset by investing in yourselves. We did 9 free trainings. People got a lot from it, but we know that there has to be some skin in the game. And Nancy and I are no stranger to making investments in ourselves and our businesses. We do it every single year. We're joining a brand new mastermind coming up in a few weeks. And the big thing is that we want to teach all of you how important It's been for us to invest in ourselves to be able to invest back in all of you. And that's why we want to teach you this. And even though it's only a $49 registration fee for this blueprint, you're going to be learning things that we have never taught to this kind of capacity before. It's only been behind closed doors. But we also are creating a private pop-up Facebook group, because there's a lot of people that what we did last year is you didn't even have to register, because you could register, but you got the workbook. But people, if they just wanted to watch the replays in the Facebook group, they could just do that. But we're doing it differently. We want people to have skin in the game and really take action on what we teach, because there's 5 significant reasons why, in all honesty, if you join this blueprint and you apply everything that we go over with you in those 5 days, you're going to see a change. And you may be thinking, or what are 5 reasons? And the first reason is you want to attract more leads and clients.
He passes it over here. Yeah. So the first thing, right, that we're really talking about in this training is the reason why we're on social media in the first place, right? We're not just getting on there to be on social media to post content, right? Because it's fun. No, we want to actually post intentional content that attracts the right people. Because if we're posting content and we're not attracting the right clients, and we're not closing the right leads, and we're not bringing the right people to us, what are we doing? Okay. So part of this training is going to help you get clarity on how to attract more leads and clients, not just through social media, but through actions that you can do daily on social media. And it's not just content posting. So if you want to attract more leads and clients, that's something you're going to learn in this training.
The easiest way to increase your income in any business is to have more people to talk to. Plain and simple. If you have more qualified leads, you have more qualified opportunities to close more sales. And again, this personal branding blueprint, Nancy and I sat down for a few hours and we outlined all the things, and we're gonna go over after we're done going over the 5 reasons why.
It's actually a massive training that I spent a lot of time.
No, meaning the outline for each 5 days took a few hours.
Yeah, even just outlining, yeah.
So the first thing is you want those ideal clients, but also you want to cut through all the noise on social media. And what we mean by noise is it seems like every other day you're seeing some ad on social media about hacks to do this and ways to do that, and you're constantly playing that comparison game, and you're seeing all these people, quote unquote, crushing it in their business. You know, one of the big things that Nancy and I talked about in the very beginning of this year when we did our first training in January was having clear focus and doing one thing. Like one thing, just focus. And our goal for everybody was just to focus on LinkedIn. Some of you did, some of you didn't. The ones who did, you probably saw some progression in your business. Those that did not, I don't want to say you're in the same place you were last year, but you definitely still need to be on LinkedIn. Now, you want to cut through all that. And we're going to be teaching you this methodology during this blueprint of how to cut through all of that noise on social media and find your voice, find your strategy and methodology.
Yeah. And the big thing that I just want to really hone in on is the companies that are successful out there are the ones who are clear on their brand, right? They explain what they do and who they help. They have a strategy and they have a plan in place. Okay, even though there's tons, in fact, there's millions, billions of content creators out there and people posting and doing whatever, it's the ones who are clear around their clarity of messaging, around who they serve, around their personal brand and what they're building. Okay, and that again is one of the reasons why you want to sign up for this workshop, because you are going to get clarity. And that brings us on to number 3. You want clarity around your business, your offering, and your brand. Okay, again, I just said it and I'm repeating it again. If you do not have clarity around what it is you do and who you help, it's going to be a lot harder to close sales. It's going to be a lot harder to generate leads. And I just want you guys to think about, okay, because I was thinking about this the other day, right? You know, so we have a marketing agency, BYB agency, and I was thinking about it that I recently had a need, okay, for a Kajabi expert, someone to help me with Kajabi. And I was doing some research and I was looking out there. Do you know how many Kajabi experts there are out there?
Thousands.
Probably more than that, right? Like probably tens of thousands.
4.
But what I did is I went online, I started looking on Instagram, I started looking on LinkedIn, I started looking at different places, and I did some research and I was trying to find, and the ones that really stood out to me and are the people that I reached out to were the people who clearly explained what they did and the services that they offered. And that's usually how I, invest back into my business or hire a team. Think about all the different people who do what it is that you do in your industry that are just posting and praying and like just pumping out content. And just pumping out content is not good, okay? When you're just pumping out content, that doesn't mean anything. It's not giving people solutions. It's not giving them value, right? It's just content. But whenever you marry that with a strategy, with a plan, with clarity, it can literally make all the difference in your business. And that, again, in 2022 is what we want to do with our business. We want to get incredibly intentional. We want to have that clarity, and we want to have all of that wonderful stuff happening online.
Well, how many of you are listening to this and like nodding your head as Nancy is saying it? Like, yeah, I don't have clarity around my business, my offering, and my brand. I'm basically just posting and praying. I'm doing the same thing that everybody else is doing. We can't express enough to you. Here's the biggest thing. The people that really want to see a change in their business are going to make a change in what they're doing. Plain and simple. Whether it's our blueprint or something else, if you sit back and you think about and you ask yourself, am I happy with where my business is? Am I happy with the clarity I have around what I'm offering? Am I truly happy with how, quote unquote, on brand I am on social media? Or am I just throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping that it sticks? It's another reason why this blueprint will help you. I mean, here's the thing. For $49, we're teaching you everything that needs to be done to move yourself. There's still going to be Q&A with us. You could still ask us questions, but you're going to have this blueprint workbook to go off of. And we're going to be teaching you strategically these things that to get more leads, to cut through all that noise and all the BS on social media, to get clarity around all those things. It's time to stop throwing darts at a dartboard with your eyes closed and really start getting into consistent action, which brings us to number 4.
My favorite.
Which is you need a social media strategy on all platforms. And that's the thing. You need a social media strategy on all platforms. Not just, again, throwing spaghetti at the walls.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing to really talk about here too is you don't need to be on all the platforms. And we actually cover that in the training as well. You know, a lot of us, in fact, I get this question all the time and people are like high-fiving me left and right. All the people say, Nancy, I'm so exhausted. I'm trying to show up on 5 different platforms. I'm trying to post and stay consistent and whatever. And I tell them, why are you showing up on all these platforms? Do you know there's millions and bajillions of people on each different platform? You know, find out where your people are. In fact, I did an Instagram story on this today. Find out where your people are, where you're generating the most qualified leads, okay? And show up there 110%, right? There are a lot of things that you can do on individual platforms that take quite a bit of time to really do the 110% on each one. But it will give you so much more lead generation. It will give you so much more effectiveness when you're able to hone in, cut out the FOMO, right? In fact, I love it. Someone said one time, JOMO, the joy of missing out. Cut out the fear of missing out, right? Stop worrying about what all these 10 people over here are doing on Instagram and the reels that they're doing and the whatever. If that is not what your target client is looking at, and that's not how you're closing sales and how you're generating leads, then stay focused on where you are generating leads, okay? And in this training, we actually talk about the different platforms and we help you get clarity around what platform would be best for you. Okay, we talk about that. And we also talk about building out that social media strategy. And I think it's hilarious because so many people are doing the do on social media, but a lot of people don't even have strategy around it, right? And there's two different things. There's social media strategy and there's also a content strategy. Okay. And again, these are things that we're going to be going through with you in this training so that you can walk away with tangible goals and a tangible strategy as we go into 2022.
Yeah, and the other thing is that the other great thing that we're going to be teaching you is by the end of this blueprint, you're going to know without a doubt if Facebook is your place to be, if Instagram is your place to be, or if LinkedIn is your place to be. You know, yes, I am a LinkedIn expert, as people coin me that, but Nancy and I know a ton about all of social media. We know how to leverage Facebook, we know how to leverage Instagram, and we know how to leverage LinkedIn. And what we're going to do is we're going to help you get clear on, by the end of that, yes, this is the platform I need to be using moving forward. So why are we doing it in January? There's no better time to do it because it's the beginning of the year. You can spend those 5 days with us and by the middle of January have clarity around everything that you need to do for your business and your brand and your offering with generating leads on the right platforms of qualified people. So you may be generating leads, but are they coming from the right platform? Maybe you're prospecting on Instagram and you should be prospecting on Facebook. Maybe you're prospecting on Facebook, but you should be prospecting on LinkedIn, which brings us to number 5. You absolutely crave a plug and play routine on social media. So many people that we talk to are spending countless hours trying to figure out what they should be doing on social media. What should I post? When should I post? How often should I post? What should I say? Do I put my links? Do I have a call to action? Hashtags? So what we're going to be doing with you is giving you that plug and play routine for whatever social media platform you're choosing to use. So I can't express to you how excited we are about this because we've already had a bunch of people register. And the fact, if you go to the www.thetimetogrowcom/personal brand intensive. I know that's a mouthful, but it's www.thetimetogrowcom/
There you go.
personal brand intensive. You can register. It's $49. You get a workbook. You're going to be able to watch the replays for 2 whole weeks this time, not just 5 days. There's also a private group that we're going to be huddling everybody into where there's going to be some other bonuses and everything that's going on.
Yeah, this is a little more, so for people who are asking, like, how is this different than your other trainings and so on and so forth? Well, first off, it's completely different topic. So it's not LinkedIn specific, it's actually social media. It's around personal branding and helping you really map out the blueprint of what that looks like for you. And then the other thing is like Scott mentioned, it's going to be exclusive. So when you sign up, you will actually get access to the Facebook group. Okay, so we'll add everybody there. So you get a pop-up group that we're going to have to answer questions, Q&A, do the homework all that good stuff. So it's going to be behind the scenes. The other thing that you're going to get is access to the replays, like Scott mentioned, and you'll have access for over 2 weeks after the training. So you'll have a longer time if you're not able to join us live, maybe one of the days or a couple of the days, you guys will have access to that. The other thing you'll get is a really pretty inclusive and in-depth workbook. It's going to be pretty awesome. And guys, we're building it as we go for each day of the training. So it's going to be pretty awesome. And then the other thing that you're going to get, like Scott mentioned, is that Q&A session as well with us, which is pretty much going to seal the deal on any questions you have. So again, you're going to have that clarity.
It's one-on-one coaching
as you go into 2022. So again, I can't be more excited about it. We've done a lot of work with a lot of people over this past year. I mean, for those of you who know Scott, I mean, it's funny. He has over how many recommendations now? 470 recommendations of people that he has directly worked with. And, I myself have helped so many people in the last year not only get clarity around their business, their brand, their offer, everything that they're doing on social media. It's been so much fun seeing all these businesses grow. We want to help more people. So I'm super excited about this training. Scott's actually going to do a share screen. I guess, can they see now? Okay, perfect. So he's just doing a share screen of the sales page right now, so you guys can kind of see what's included. So for day one, we're really going to focus on constructing the core elements of your personal brand. We're going to really focus on the 5 questions you need to answer before building out your personal brand. We're going to get super specific with your niche. I'm sure many of you know how important that is. And then 3 steps to get clear on your ideal audience. Okay. Day 2 is crafting a simple message to create more sales in your business. So we're going to learn the steps, how to set yourself apart on. Oh, I was reading that. It's like totally took it off. Craft a clear message of what you do and then create your mission statement. And then day 3 is build and learn the routines to maintain a strong online presence. We're going to determine, like Scott mentioned earlier, which social media platform you should be focusing on, right? So we're going to get clarity there, how to optimize your social media platforms. So making sure it's clear, right? Who you help, how you help them, and how people can hire you. And we're going to build the structure to help you be omnipresent across multiple platforms. And then the day 4 is create a clear content strategy to increase visibility and set yourself apart, right? So on Thursday, we're really going to determine your content buckets, which are your areas of expertise, right? Those content topics. You're going to learn the step-by-step process to generate content that establishes you as the expert, right? So we take the guesswork out of that. Plan out content for the next 3 months in advance. You guys are going to literally, in fact, that's part of the homework, is we're going to get specific on what the next quarter is going to look like as far as content. And then on day 5, one of my most favorite days, is where you're going to create your social media strategy. Get clear on your social media goals, daily action plan to execute your strategy, and metrics to measure success. Because again, I mentioned earlier, this upcoming year, 2022, is the year of intention. So we want to measure things. We want to set goals. We want to have a plug and play. We want to have routines that we can use and really crush it in the upcoming year. So,
So again, if anyone wants to sign up, obviously the link to sign up, just as we mentioned, is www.thetimetogrowcom/personal brand intensive. You go there, you register, you're in. So if you're thinking it's going to be the way that we structured it before, where all the replays are going to be in LinkedIn Leads for Life group, they're not. There's going to be a special pop-up group for the people that register for this. You can still be a member.
Exclusive training portal.
Yeah, it's exclusive training portal where you can watch the replays, the Q&A. There's going to be prizes as always. So do go there, or just type in the chat box, I do, and we can send you the personal link to register. So just remember, if you are wanting to attract more leads and clients, you want to cut through all of the noise on social media and start getting into action. You want clarity around your business, your offering, your brand. You need that social media strategy for whatever platform it is that you're choosing to use, but you crave that plug and play routine for social media. That is what we are going to be going over in this intensive. We're excited just because it's a year in the making. Honestly, we've been doing this behind closed doors all this year, and we said, you know what, let's do something completely different for everyone, and let's bring this to the table. So again, it's from January 10th to January 14th. It's Monday through Friday. It's structured how we always do it. Monday through Thursday is from 8 to 9 Eastern, live and recorded. Friday is from 5 to 6, and there will be some bonus Q&A days that we'll get into later. But again, to access the private pop-up group, to access the recordings, to access the trainings, all of the deliverables, you have to be signed up. And for only $49, you're going to have your personal brand strategy built out for you for the entire calendar year through what we're going to teach you. So again, just drop an I do in the chat box at any time, live or on the replay, or again, go to www.thetimetogrow.com/personal brand intensive. And again, we're really looking forward to seeing you all there. So everyone, have a great rest of your night. Love and gratitude, and we will talk to you soon. Bye everyone.